Well, welcome everyone, and thanks for coming out for our march today. It's tax day. Did everyone pay their taxes? I know I waited till the absolute last minute. I like to hang on to it as long as possible. And I'll tell you why. It's because so much of our money, so much of our tax dollars, over 52% of our federal income tax goes to the war machine, goes to the Pentagon, and it ends up in the pockets of companies like Raytheon Technologies, based right here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, probably about a 20-minute drive from where we are over in Waltham. And they are one of the biggest war profiteers in the entire world, a Massachusetts institution, one that is tied up with Democratic and Republican administrations alike. Our current Secretary of Defense is from the board of directors of Raytheon Technologies. Yep, and guess where Trump's last Secretary of Defense came from? Raytheon Technologies. So no matter whether the president is wearing a blue tie or a red tie, Raytheon wins. And this is why we have military budgets that are going up and up every year. And we need to change that because we desperately need that money for human needs at home, for healthcare, for education, for infrastructure, public transportation, and the main thing that we desperately need that money for, and we need it right now, is to stave off the threat of climate catastrophe, which is coming. So today, we're here at the Sam Adams statue, and we're going to march behind me. You see all those big buildings? That is the financial district, where a lot of the big banks have branches, and some are headquartered there. And the reason we'll be marching through the financial district is because they own Raytheon, and they own ExxonMobil, and these companies that are destroying our environment by selling fossil fuels and supporting extractive industries. We're going to be visiting BlackRock. Some of you have BlackRock signs. We're going to be visiting Chase, JP Morgan Chase, and then we'll be on to State Street. These institutions own significant stock in Raytheon and companies like ExxonMobil, and some of them lend these companies the money that give them the ability to keep the war machine running and to keep destroying our environment. So today, we are going to demand that our government and these financial institutions invest in life, not death. So we're joining today with our comrades all across the country, and we're going to raise our voices because we're running out of time. And we need to make a demand. We need to take our country back from the war industry and from those who are profiting off of climate catastrophe.
BlackRock invests in Raytheon. It invests in companies destroying our climate. It owns huge blocks of stock in these companies, and we are here to impose penalties. Penalty on BlackRock. Holding BlackRock. Holding $8.2 billion in the Raytheon War Company. So much money that BlackRock could decide to tell Raytheon to stop collaborating with Saudi Arabia in the invasion of Yemen. 377,000 Yemenis have died so far, many of them killed by Raytheon paveway guided bombs. But BlackRock has done nothing, and therefore, BlackRock, you are guilty, and your penalty is to invest in life, not Raytheon. BlackRock has over $100 billion invested in coal. Here we have climate catastrophe sitting on our doorstep, and BlackRock, who controls these companies, does nothing. We have a penalty for you, BlackRock. Invest in life, not fossil fuels. 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 Invest in life, not fossil fuels.
Thank you all. I think what we need to know is that this is on us. We are the ones who are going to take our government back, take our future back, take our planet back, take our society back, because right now it's going up in the flames of war and the flames of climate change. And it is the likes of BlackRock that are enabling this. The financial enablers of death and destruction, a double dose of death and destruction from war and from climate change. And Paul just gave you some of the numbers. BlackRock actually holds $10 trillion in investment. They manage $10 trillion. You know what we could do with $10 trillion? BlackRock holds, as Paul was saying, BlackRock holds some $260 billion in fossil fuel investments, and that includes over $100 billion in coal, which is the worst of the fossil fuels. They also own over $30 billion in new coal. We don't need any coal, and we especially don't need new coal. So that means we really need to take this seriously. BlackRock needs to divest. We need to divest from the likes of BlackRock. We need to tell our pension funds not to invest in BlackRock. We need to tell our elected officials we need different rules of the road. We need to put people, planet, and peace over profit. And if we are working together across these movements, we can make it happen. So thank you so much for making it so.
Thank you, Jill. We now want to show the public what these investments that Chase is making really means. Holding State Street Bank, the owner of State Street Global Assets, holding $12.1 billion in Raytheon and their weapons production. State Street Global Advisors is the largest stockholder in Raytheon on Earth. While Raytheon has been collaborating with the Saudi government to invade Yemen, while 377,000 Yemenis have died, many from Raytheon's paveway guided bombs. You, State Street, have done nothing but rake in blood money from Raytheon. Throw the flag, throw the flag. We have another penalty. Inhuman-like conduct. State Street holds billions of dollars in investments in companies creating this climate crisis that we are in right now. For both your investment, State Street Global Advisors, in Raytheon and in numerous oil and petroleum companies, are imposing on you the penalty that you must invest in life, not death. Invest in life, not